Well, it's rivalry week, and of course, we want to continue on celebrating with some of the former Gamecock and Clemson greats. And tonight, one of the greatest athletes to ever put on a Gamecock uniform, Syvelle Newton, former quarterback, Marlboro County.
Yes, sir.
Is in the house, looking nice, looking like you still can play, man.
Yeah, well, you know, I lost about 20 pounds in the past month or two,
Really?
so I'm ready to actually maybe venture into some arena football again. But I'm playing at McDaniel's Acura selling cars now.
So you're doing the car thing now,
Oh,
so
yeah.
making that big money at the car dealership?
Just a little bit.
Well, let's get right into it. Of course, you know, one of the greatest athletes at South Carolina's Syvelle. This is rivalry week. When you think Clemson, when you talk about going back in the day, when you got ready for Clemson, what does this week mean for you?
Well, I mean, a lot of fans, they like to get all hyped about
Mm-hmm.
it. I've always been the one where, you know, USC fans get a little hot with me during this week because I'm not too much into the big old rivalry because I'm one of those guys who, if we're not doing good, I'd rather them do good than any other state because I like for our state to be known as the football state.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when it comes time for us to play against each other, that's when you lock on, you put your Gamecock, the black and gold. You know, I'm talking about Marlboro County,
Right.
my bad.
You're black and gold, black and garnet.
The black and garnet, but you put that on and then, you know, it's just like, it's a whole nother ball game.
So when you prepare for this ball game, and of course we want to mention the brawl because Derek just ran a package on the brawl. It's
Yeah.
you know, there's a 10-year anniversary of the brawl.
Well, I mean, I was actually the quarterback during that game, and I can remember it just like yesterday, and I always answer that question when I'm even doing test drives.
Right.
Like, the customer always asks, like, what happened that game? I said, well, I got kicked in the head, and next thing I know, you got 11 players going off. We just turned the ball over on downs, and you got our defense coming on the field, their offense, so you got more than, about 44
Right.
people on the field at one time, and it just got ugly.
And I was on the sideline just as a spectator when that happened. I remember helmets flying by me, and I know you got carried off the field. Of course, you got hit in the head, maybe a concussion or whatnot. But that was an ugly moment. I mean, that's just not the characteristic really of this rivalry because as athletes, both of us have played in this game. Most of the players are pretty good friends.
Yeah, and then, I played with some of the guys. One of the guys was on my high school team that played for Clemson. One was actually my cousin, Tremaine Billy, who started at linebacker that year. So it was kind of one of those things when we looked at it the week later, and you send some of those guys text messages, they looking at you like, well, what happened? It was just a brawl that none of us intended to get into. It should have just been well, I don't know who to blame it on because I would put the blame on me and Demetrius Summers because we met them at the bottom of the hill. I don't know if everybody remember that.
You got it started.
So I actually got what I deserved.
So you met them at the bottom hill, said, "Come on, we're ready
Yes,
for you."
sir.
Of course, being the visiting team, okay, but that's all good. It happened, but it's a 10-year anniversary. Of course, we wanted to acknowledge that.
Yes,
'Cause
sir.
When I thought about that, I was like, "Well, Syvelle was a quarterback. I remember him getting carried off the field." That being said, when you look at this game this year, South Carolina came into the season with high expectations, hasn't delivered, struggled all year, defensively especially. Clemson, as a team that had high expectations, hasn't delivered. So when you look at this matchup, what do you like about it? Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Well, of course, I mean, the Gamecocks will win again. Sorry, Clemson fans. That's just how it's going to happen. We got the momentum. We just beat Florida. We come back and play against another team. I can't even remember who we played. We beat them down. And now we're playing against Clemson, our rivalry game. And Coach Spurrier just owns Dabo. Everybody, he just owns Dabo right now. And that's just one of the things that's good about what we have. And just guys like Farrell Cooper and our senior class, that we got a great senior class with a couple of those guys. I would love to see Mike back next year, but I see this as a game where, his brother played at Clemson, and it's always a statement game for him. So just if we get the ball to Mike 20 times this game, we win. I said it 3 weeks ago. I said if we give Mike the ball against Florida, he'll close the game out. Which the reason why we're not going to the SEC championship game is because we never gave Mike the ball at closing the game out.
So you thought we should have ran the ball more with Mike?
Of course.
Davis. So if you want a nice ride, so Acura, Porsche.
McDaniel's Acura, Porsche, we got Subaru for all you Subaru drivers, and Volkswagen, also Mazda.
Come see this guy. He can make it happen. He can improvise. He did a lot of that at playing quarterback at South Carolina.
Yes,
well, that's going to do it for sports, folks. We'll be back, wrap things up in just a moment.